Hello everyone, this is Jacqueline with JW Van Minimal. Thank you for joining me and watching my video, subscribing, liking, and sharing. I just wanted to hop in real quick and give a quick update on some activities. Like today is Sunday. It is about 3 p.m. I think, something close to that. I just came from church. One of my new friends, Celeste, she's a business owner and a business associate, invited me to attend her church because we connected on another social media channel, because years ago when I was doing mostly community work, there was this lovely gentleman who I was working on a community garden with. His name was Mr. C, basically. And we were working on a wonderful garden together as part of my work. I did eventually leave that job, but the gentleman was such a wonderful man, committed, and he eventually got sick and passed away. So when I was doing my business work, this woman popped up in my feed that actually do similar work to myself. And she's friends with other friends. And I immediately connected with her on that social media platform, thinking that she was this gentleman's daughter, because they normally, guys driving by, doing wheelies on a motorcycle. So that was an unusual name. And the gentleman, we were gonna name a garden after him and things like that. So I always had his name stuck in my head. So when I saw her come across my social media feed in her profession in the area, I connected with her primarily business-wise, but then I always wanted to just check in with her and say, hey, do you know this gentleman? Because I used to work with him. He was such a lovely man. But I find out that two of my friends are friends with her as well. So we eventually got together. We just had a quick little meeting, a little get together to talk about each of our businesses and how we could support each other, sisters in the struggle type of thing. And I, at the end of our conversation, mentioned that I had met this lovely man. He was so wonderful. We were going to name a garden after him, but he had passed away. And she told me that that was her father-in-law. And she, we teared up. It was very cute. And then, we continued to talk. She told her husband, like, I worked with his dad and stuff. So in that meeting, she invited me to attend her church, which when people invite me to church, I go. I'm not a regular church goer. I do know people who either attend or are pastors of churches. And I don't do traditional religion, but I am a believer. I believe in God and all of that stuff. So she invited me to her church, and when people invite me, as I mentioned, I go. I always enjoy going to church and other people's centers of worship. It's always a beautiful spirit. I just don't go on a regular basis. But again, when somebody asks me, I come. So I came. One of the things I trip about with churches is, like, they didn't start super early, so that was okay. But they always end so late. Like, it's always like 3 hours. So I went to church. I thought it would be a couple hours, which I mentally prepared for, but it actually ended much later than I thought. And it was no problem. I could have left anytime I wanted, but it was great. It was fun. I enjoyed it. So I attended church, and it was a wonderful experience, like all the times I go to church, okay? So after that, I wanted to put up a couple of videos because also today I was supposed to take my client out looking for houses, but it is like scorching hot out here. He called and said it was hot. I have to get back to him on that, but I don't think I would have been able to do houses today because I really want to just sit still and plan out my day. I start this job I do 1 month out of the year. It starts tomorrow. And I want to be mentally prepared for that because I am a traditional I don't work a traditional job, as many of you may know. I have my own business consulting business that I'm always looking for clients because it's so difficult. Us out here being entrepreneurs, it is so hard. Anyway, I'm also a realtor. So I don't have a traditional job. So 1 month out of the year, I actually work this. It's a home builders type of thing. I'm usually outdoors, which I appreciate, in the door. Sometimes it's cold, sometimes it's hot in the state of Wisconsin, even in the summer. This is still summer. So I start that tomorrow. It's a 1 month gig. I do it almost every year. I enjoy it most of the time. The pay is horrible, but I still like doing it. And tomorrow it starts that. So that means a commitment on my end on something that I don't do on a regular basis and haven't in a while, which is doing a traditional job with regular hours. So I'm going to be doing that. And then in addition to that, I still have my business to run, and I still have my real estate business to do. I have a couple of clients I have to take care of. So it's going to be a busy month, and I plan on traveling this month because my aunt and uncle is celebrating it's like 80 years. I think it's their birthdays, but they're calling it an anniversary. So I'm supposed to travel in the next week or so, and I need to have funds or money for that. And one of my clients have not paid me. It is so frustrating. It is so frustrating when people don't pay you what they owe you. And this is a national organization. I don't even want to talk about it. I'm grateful for the opportunity to work with them, but I am so frustrated with their process of how they pay people. So I am hoping and praying that I get paid so I can take this trip. Anyway, the trip is going to happen, so I'll find a way, but it's just frustrating. So that's what I'm doing today. I think I was going on a path of, after church, my sister called me yesterday and said she was making dinner for her sisters. So I did have 5 sisters. One of my sisters passed away. There's 9 of us in the family. I have 3 brothers, 6 sisters. One of my sisters passed away in 2014. So one of my sisters, we have a close family. So she was like, oh, I miss my sisters. I'm going to make them dinner. So usually when that happens, no offense to anyone, CP time. So she said to come by about 4 or 5. And I thought I was going to be done with church at 1, honestly. I'm just getting done with church, and it was like 2:30. So I just came up the street to McDonald's to park and just, take in the atmosphere before I sit in someone's warm or hot house, because I like being outdoors when it's nice and sunny and warm. And I thought I'd just upload a video, talk about my day today. What does that have to do with minimalism and van dwelling and social mission? Let me tell you. First of all, one thing I talk a lot about related to minimalism has to do with being comfortable and finding yourself, finding your purpose. To me, participating in your faith and exposing yourself to different things and different people and different experiences, all of that to me has to do with minimalism. It has to do with stretching who you are. It's not the definition I saw the other day that talk about do as little as possible. I totally disagree with that. So for me, my minimalism is doing something different, exposing yourself, meeting new people. For me, that's what van dwelling is as well. So that's one thing. The other thing has to do with just connecting to people you care about, spending quality time with them, being able to just love, your family, your friends, be with them, share very good experiences with them. So I'm looking forward to hanging out with my sisters. And I'm also looking forward to somebody cooking some other food other than mine, because I have a very weird, I'm just going to say weird for me. If people saw how I ate, I you know, I don't eat a lot of meat, so there's no meat in my house. And if somebody cooked meat, I might eat it depending how I feel. But I don't eat a lot of meat, and I definitely don't. I do seafood, so there might be seafood in my house, but not like meat. And my family, they eat a lot of meat, so I'm pretty sure she's thinking of cooking all kinds of goodies. And then, so having a home cooked, meal from somebody else other than me. I eat a lot. I drink a lot of smoothies or juicing or salads or, that kind of stuff. That's my traditional diet. But if I'm out, if I'm at a party, if I'm at a gathering, I eat whatever is there. I'm not like a strict vegetarian or anything like that. I believe in moderation. So me, I like to have most of my meals as a healthier option. But again, if I'm like with others, or if I'm at a gathering, I'll eat, the food there most of the time, not all the time, because I do not partake in a lot of meat. But if my family's making it, and we are from Chicago and by way of the south of Mississippi, we know how to cook food, and it's usually very delicious. I don't usually eat a lot of it, but that's what happens. So I look forward to that, being with my family. All of those things to me are considered minimalism to me, like enjoying experiences. And anytime I get an opportunity to be with my family, that's what I do. So just want to give you a quick heads up on that. It's like 90 degrees here. The heat index is supposed to be very high today. I do not complain about warm weather in the state of Wisconsin at all. I enjoy it. I suffer through it. If I go home, I could turn on an air conditioner. The only thing that I need to think about, though, is when I am moving into the van dwelling life, how to deal with these issues if I'm living in a vehicle that's always exposed to the out of doors. So that's something that I will be thinking about and figuring out for myself. In the meantime, thank you again for joining me. JW Van Minimal is my YouTube channel, and I am Jacqueline. I would love for you to subscribe to my channel, to share my channel, like it, and take the journey with me. I really appreciate that. And we will see you next time. Make it a great day.